Quality Matters, and what we're going to do is discuss human resources and total quality management. I also want to take a moment to introduce you guys to a colleague of mine.
Hi, my name is Ronan DeJesus, and I'm basically co-piloting this webinar for you all. I've been around for a long time, so I've heard a number of questions, and this topic in particular is one of the reasons we'd like to cover this is because a number of questions are asked by students and professors. Yeah, that's why we chose this topic. Pragi will take over for now.
So as you guys noticed, you can ask questions in your control panel. So all generic questions will be addressed in the second half of the webinar. For specific industry questions, you can email or call the support representatives. The way to get in touch with them is to call 877-477-8787, or you can email support@capsim.com. The webinar will also be recorded and posted to the CAPSIM website, so that it's not necessary for anyone to take notes. And at this point, we'll get started. So we're going to be using Capstone because it's more widely used among students, so it's a better basis for what we're going to be doing today. So let's get into human resources and total quality management. I'm going to go ahead and launch the web spreadsheet, and this is where you're going to find both the modules. Here you'll notice that HR is the first one that we're going to do. There are only 3 decisions in this department. It's going to be the recruiting spending, training hours. Just give me 1 second. And the third decision you're going to make can be found in production. Which is the complement for this year. So let's start with the complement. This is where it's located. The complement is the number of workers in the workforce that are needed without using your overtime. So at 100%, this means we're not going to be using our overtime. Now, from here, let's move on to training hours. And that's going to be, again, in Human Resource tab. So the training hours are $20 per hour, and here you'll adjust how many hours. Once again, you'll see these eyes that will explain to you, for example, in this case, 80 hours for training in the year is what we can spend up to. Also, for the recruitment spending, this is where we're going to decide how much additional spending we're going to do to recruit higher caliber employees. This number is now added to a base of $1,000, so anything additional that you choose to invest. Of course, this is all optional because you don't have to actually invest any additional if you choose not to, but this is going to help you find higher caliber employees, and it'll help reduce your turnover, and it'll increase your efficiency. Any spending that you do in HR, remember, it's going to be for the subsequent round. You're not going to see the effects of your investments in this current round, but you will in the following. From here, I would like to move to total quality management and discuss this as well. So here you see that you have quite a few more options for where you can invest. The recommendation here is that you pick complementary initiatives and invest based on that. So what total quality management does is improve the efficiency and profitability of your company. So for example, if you wanted to pick 2 initiatives that were going to help reduce your material costs, you can pick the Global Environmental Management Initiative, Total Quality Environmental Management, and the Continuous Process Improvement Systems. So the CPI and the GEMI are going to help you reduce your material costs. Now, if you invest in these together, you're going to see the most benefit from what you're spending. Now, the way that the spending happens is there is a diminishing return. So for each initiative, you can invest up to $2 million per round, but there's a diminishing return after you've invested $5 million. So for example, for the CPI system, if we were investing $2 million this round, we can do $2 million the following round, but only $1 more million would make this the most effective use of our money. After the $5 million that we've invested, now for those of you that are playing Foundation, this is slightly different. It's going to be 7,000, or it's going to be 750,000 that you can invest per initiative each round, and the total that you want to be investing is $2 million. After that, once again, you are going to see a diminishing return. So each of these also has a description available. If you click on the eyes, you'll see what all the initiatives do. Now you can also find these in the team member guide if you want to evaluate them a little more closely. The benefits are you're gonna see benefits for this immediately, and you will continue to see them throughout every round. It is recommended that you do both HR and finance before you guys move on to the finance module, because of course this is going to affect your ending cash position, because once again you're investing in your company. Does anyone have any questions at this time? Hi Dana, so the order of your decisions is going to be as they appear on the screen, except for the TQM and finance. So for example, you would want to initially go through R&D, marketing, production, HR, then you'll do TQM, and lastly you'll do finance. Finance is always going to be the last thing you want to do to get the final picture of what your company's financial health looks like.
Hi, another great question. TQM is actually an income statement transaction, so it is not the investment is not taken out of your cash flows. It's actually taken out of your income statement, and I'll show you here on the pro forma income statement. So let me move this out of the way. Okay, so TQM is going to be in the other line here. So in other words, TQM is being expensed on the income statement. So you're tacking on, at least a $2 million expense on the income statement. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure that revenues can cover that added expense. There's another question here. One second. Is it best to issue the highest amount of training hours the first time around or gradually move up each round? Well, to answer that, it really depends on what you can afford. As far as training hours go, you want to spend at least 20 hours to get some kind of return, and the max is 80 hours. Typically, teams don't have a lot of problems maxing out their training hours because it's not a huge expense. But to answer the question, it really depends on what the team can afford. Any other questions? Now, just to recap, HR investments will affect your income statement positively. Okay, you can gain a competitive advantage on your cost structure using HR and of course TQM as well. All right, and both of them are okay, and both of them are really income statement transactions.
There are a few more questions that are general questions I would like to discuss with you. The first being, does TQM take effect in the same year that I invested? The answer is yes. You'll see an impact of the investment producing in that current round and also all the rounds that occur after. Another question is, in what scenario would I change the needed HR complement? So for example, if the management knows that next year the company will not need as many workers because let's say you increase your automation levels, then the company can save recruitment costs this year and separation costs for the next year if it asks the first shift employees to work overtime versus hiring a second shift to work and only let them go the following year. Another question that is generally asked is there a report that will summarize my TQM and HR investments? You can find this on page 12 of the Capstone Courier. You'll see the breakdown of what exactly were the results and how much you spent, and it'll be summarized there. Where can I get more details on the departments? As always, the team member guide is going to be a great source for you to find a wealth of information. Now, the way to access the team member guide is to go to the Help and Support tab. From there, you'll go on to the Help side, and you'll see the PDF guide and the online guide. Both are great resources for you. If there are no more questions that need to be addressed, let's move forward. So I'd like to show you guys where to register for future webinars. So you're going to go to the CAPSIM website. Let me just go back to the capsim.com. Here you're going to click on events. Once you click on events, you'll see that we have webinars available. And now you'll click on student webinars. And here you can go down and you can see previously recorded webinars that we have already posted, and you'll be able to register for more webinars. The last one we will be having is wrapping it up, final debrief. It's on the 12th at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. If
any of you guys have any questions, please email us at support@capsim.com, support@capsim.com, and we also have a toll-free number. It is 877-477-8787. Any last-minute questions before we let you go? No? Okay. I hope you all found this helpful. Again, a recording will be posted by the end of today. And yeah, it was a pleasure discussing all the topics with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.